I am so sorry about that. Um, I'm really trying my best. Hi, Dale. How are you? I had to restart my live. Let's see here. Happy Thursday to everybody. I am just starting with Burda 6442 View B. And you see me with my seam ripper in my hand, so that can only mean one thing. I made a mistake. And I only have myself to blame. Yes, yes, yes. I made a mistake on my dress, and I am using my trusty seam ripper to take out this seam that I created, which should not be here. I would say this is an embarrassing moment, but then again, what sewer hasn't made a mistake and had to whip out their seam ripper? I'm only human. Hi, Crystal. I am making a Burda 6442 View B, which is that shorter dress with the sleeves. And I have my seam ripper in my hand because I made a mistake. I created this very long stitch, which I wasn't supposed to do. So right now I am undoing that. Yeah, I know. So hello to everybody. Nice to see you. I am trying to right my wrongs, and that's why I have my seam ripper. I created this stitch that I should not have. I'm almost done. I hope everyone's had a good day. One of your friends is live. Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. Hi, Miss. I have my seam ripper in my hand. You know what that means. That means I made a mistake. So I have to fix it by taking this entire stitch out. Yes, I too have my own faults. Sometimes I get ahead of myself when I'm sewing. Especially when I'm sewing a project that I think is a bit familiar to me. You still need to make sure that you take your time and fully read the directions, which I am guilty of not doing. And that's why I have this seam ripper. Okay, there we go. I have taken out that seam. So let me show you what not to do, which is, going to save you some time. Maybe while we're at it, I should actually read the instructions to you. First, we're going to work on the center front seam. We lay the two fronts right side together, pin and stitch the center front seam from the corner, which I did not do, and back stitch to secure that stitching. This is our front piece right here. This is our front piece. And this is our corner right here. Okay? What I was supposed to do was make a stitch from this corner at a 5/8 of an inch all the way down to the bottom, and that would be our center front seam. Okay, so this is like down to the bottom, and that would be our center front seam. Okay, so this is like coming from the navel area all the way down as far as your dress as well. What I did instead was I made one stitch all the way up and all the way to the top, and that was not what you're supposed to do. So again, make sure that you're reading the directions. This is our front piece. This is the center seam, and we're supposed to stitch at a 5/8 of an inch from this corner all the way down to the hem of our dress. Okay, now I have undid or seam ripped the stitching that was above this corner. Now that I have done that, I really need to go back to my machine and do some back stitching just to secure this, because this thread will probably come out, and I don't want a censored moment in public. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just resew the whole stitch, the whole seam, the right way, the way I should have did it all along. Okay, we're at the corner. Want to make sure that we secure our stitch. I am going to back stitch. Want to make sure that we secure our stitch. I am going to back stitch. Okay. And back stitch again. Okay, now I can go back to my table and take these pins out. Next up, I need to open up this seam that I just stitched. And in order to do that, I think it's probably best that I iron it to open this stitch up. Before I iron this seam, I'm going to read the directions again because I don't want to have another embarrassing moment in front of everybody where I have to whip out my seam ripper again. Okay. gonna turn on my iron. All right, step number 2, neaten allowances and press open. Okay, I was going to press it anyway. Go on to neaten self-facings, all in one, press allowance open, turn facings to inside on facing fold, based at the shoulder edge. Do not press fold edge. Okay. Did you guys get that? If not, let me explain. We're gonna go to the iron station. Okay, we have a rather long piece for this dress, and I think you guys need to be taller. Let me adjust my camera. Give me one moment. There we go. All right, this is our front piece. I'm going to open it up now. And when I open it up, you will see what I was talking about earlier about making sure that the lines match. Like that is a big thing for me. This is the seam that I just made. So these are 2 separate pieces that I just sewed together. But when I was pinning these 2 fabrics together, before I actually sewed it, I made sure that the design of the pattern matched. And that's why I believe this one is almost perfect. I'm so proud of myself. That's why you just don't see like any breaks. You from afar, you wouldn't be able to tell which pattern piece was which, right? Give me some likes if you think that was pretty spot on. So for step number 2 of this dress, we're going to press open this seam. I like to use a little steam as well. That helps out. And all you got to do is just let the iron sit on that seam for a little bit. And just press open that seam. Okay, you see that? That's all we got to do. I'm going to bring the fabric down a little bit more so we can do this part as well. Okay, there we go. So now our seams are pressed open. Now when we get to this part, I'm going to cut this thread. Okay. All right, I pressed the seams open just like the directions said. The directions then says that once you get to this corner, which is where we stop sewing our stitch, once you get to this corner, we need to fold this area and we're going to base stitch the top here. Just a base stitch. A base stitch is the largest stitch size that your machine will make. For my machine, the Brother SQ9285, that is a size 5.0. For other machines, some machines will allow your basting stitch to go all the way to 7.0. All depends, but use the set your sewing machine to the highest amount that it will go to. Now, something else to consider. We're going to basically have a plunging V-neck. You know, it could go as far as you want it to be. It can go all the way down to your navel. It's totally up to you. The further you fold this flap, the wider that V-neck is going to be. Okay, so if you want it to be, you know, a little more conservative, you would fold this flap a little smaller. If you want a bit more skin showing, you know, you can fold this flap all the way over to here if you want. It's totally your choice. I'm going to be, I guess I'm going to be in the middle here, okay? Not too conservative, but not too, I don't know what the other word would be, flaunty. I don't know. And once I fold these, I want to make sure that both of them are about the same size and width. Because I don't want one side of my chest exposed more than the other. Let's see. Okay, so this one looks like it's a bit bigger. So I'm going to take this in a little bit. And that is my husband. When we purchased this house, we did some renovations to our basement, and he agreed to allow me to have this area of the basement, but it does like infringe upon his man cave. So whenever I'm here, you're going to hear him a lot, especially now because it's football season. He loves sports. Just so this won't move anymore, I'm going to put a pin here. Who's here joining me? That's Sarah and Judith. Hello. You guys can comment if you want in the comment section in the chat. If you would like, you can even come on up here and talk to me. Totally your choice. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like. You can kind of see the dress starting to make its shape. Okay. Now we're going to go back to the machine, and we're going to base stitch this little flap in place. Okay, base stitch. You're going to set the sewing machine to the longest stitch possible. And again, for me, I have a Brother SQ9285, and my machine, the longest stitch available is a size 5.0. When I base stitch, I'm just going to stitch, you know, pretty close to the edge of the fabric. Where's the other piece? There it is. Okay, let's move on to the next part of our project. Okay, next we're going to fold left front across between the slit marks, right side facing in, pin and stitch crosswise seam, pin and stitch crosswise seam, where am I? To slit mark as illustrated, seam number 2, back stitch to secure ends of stitching, press open seam allowance. Okay, I have no idea why they worded this like this, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It can be very confusing, but I'm just going to give you the elementary version of what they're trying to tell us to do. Let me get my pens for a second. I'm back. Let me take these pins out. We don't need these pins anymore since we base stitch. All right, again, this is our front piece. Okay, looks kind of weird. But if you can see, there is this, like, I don't know, kind of looks like a L shape or a half circle. What we're going to do is we're going to fold these two fabrics together, just like this. And we're going to sew these together. There's one on each side, and we're going to sew these together. So all that stuff that they were writing in those instructions, this is basically what they were telling us to do. Right side together, pin this in place, and then stitch. Once we're done stitching, we're going to go back to the iron and we're going to press open this seam. That's my iron. I haven't used it long enough, so it just basically does an auto shut off. You know, that helps with conserving energy, but also, you know, we don't want to have issues like if you forget to turn off the iron, it's not on all day and causing creating a fire hazard. So you'll hear that beeping a lot if you're sewing with me. Okay, I'm going to sew this in place. 5/8 of an inch, the seam allowance. Now the directions say to back stitch on both sides, on both ends. So don't forget to do that as well. Back stitching should be a common practice for you guys already. If you're not doing that, then you definitely want to make sure that you back stitch. The whole purpose of back stitching is to keep your seam from busting open. You don't want any embarrassing issues in public. Okay, we're going to do the same to the other side. Right sides together. We're going to pin this in place and sew at a 5/8 inch seam allowance. And then we're going to press open these seams. I'm going to pin this in place and then go turn on my iron so it can be ready for us. Okay, pinned it in place. There we go. Make sure you guys give me a couple of likes if you can. I understand if you can't, especially if you're sewing along with me at home. Don't forget to backstitch. And backstitch at the next end. Another thing that you might want to consider is tying a knot with this excess thread. That will also help to ensure that, you know, your seam doesn't come apart. I feel like I have to sneeze. Ugh. All right, let's go press these seams open. Here's one seam. This is basically where your boobs are going to be. And I'm going to cut this, but don't cut over your seam. I'm just cutting it so that I can actually lay this seam down flat. And I'm going to iron that down. Okay, and let's do the same to the other side. Okay. All right, let's get our directions. Just to make sure that we're still doing this right. Again, I've done this pattern 3 times. Well, this is my 3rd time actually, so I just want to make sure that I'm getting it right. It says here to pull the right front from the inside through the slit. And what slit are they talking about? Okay. I think I need to move to my actual cutting machine or cutting mat. This way I have more room. All right. Here's my dress. So this is saying to pull the right side down. Okay, if I pull the right side down, from the inside out, through slit, fold down, and stitch. Hold on. If I pull this down, and then I end it like this. Okay. I think I know what it's trying to tell me to do. It wants me to put the fabric through a little hole here, which I do not have. So I'm about to get my seam ripper out again. And I'm going to make a tiny seam, a tiny rip on this seam. Really tiny, because I don't have any like thick fabric that I'm using right now. So I don't need a huge hole. So this is like just large enough for my thumb to go through. Okay. And now that I have created this hole, I'm going to go back to my sewing machine real quick and just secure this stitch, because it will, come apart some more. So give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, hopefully you're still with me. Okay, I see there's still 3 people here. Thank you. Alright, again, I'm going to lay this out. This is the front of our dress. This is this is facing me. This is the right side that's facing me. I'm going to put this down. And there's the hole. Then it says from the inside out. From the inside out. Yeah, all right. I'm going to do it the way the directions say. But part of me feels like I'm getting set up. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to do it the way I know how and screw the directions. All right, let's see how this worked. Did it work? I don't know. I don't like that. Did they just set me up? What do you guys think? I think I just got set up. Now this is how I did it the last time I did this. I got these 2 pieces and I just remember tying it into a knot. And then, what do you guys think? Maybe there's supposed to be 2 holes in here. Like maybe there's one hole, one's supposed to go through here, and then another one's supposed to go through here. What do you guys think? right, I'm gonna try one more time, just like the directions say. It says to put this. All right, I'm gonna try one more time, just like the directions say. It says to put this through here, just like the directions say. It says to put this through here. All right, I gotta undo that stitch because I was about to start doubting Burda for a second. I'm just undoing this stitch. Only one though. And you guys forgive me. I hope I didn't mess you up on your end too. I take this little stitch and close the stitch back up. Okay, up to this point right here. I left a little opening this through it. Now, oh, Stephanie, I wish you were here earlier.
What happened?
Man, I was messing up my dress
What?
and I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. I know. So embarrassing.
No, it happens. Don't be embarrassed about it. It's a
But I
learning.
think that, yeah,
It's a learning
I'm
time
back on
too.
track now. Yeah, I'm back on track now. If you were here, you probably could have helped me troubleshoot what I did wrong.
I'm sorry I missed it.
Oh, it's okay. There we go. All right. Now I can get to the other side. So this is the front of the dress.
Let's see.
And I'm about to stitch this closed as well. Give me one moment. How's your day going?
It's going okay today. How's yours been?
Okay.
Outside of the little hiccup.
Outside of the what?
The little hiccup you just had.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Um, we have I have school age children, so we have like a bus shortage. We have I have school age children, so we have like a bus shortage up at all. Um,
Oh,
so
no.
between me and my sister and my brother-in-law, we were like basically running the whole bus route, getting all the kids to school.
Wow. Y'all need to send the school a bill.
I know.
Yes,
We have
bill.
a I know, right?
Mhm.
We there's a bus driver shortage, so I think that's nationwide.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know from day to day if my kids are going to have a bus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Let me know who's here live with us.
You said what?
Who's here live with us?
You have five other individuals. Let's see. Sarah, Eileen, and Sherry.
Well, hello to everyone who's here. Be done with that. I can't believe that I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on with those instructions. For me, Burda, because it's like formatted and outlined differently than the more well-to-do brands like Simplicity. I
Mm-hmm.
have to recondition myself to the way they, you know, do things.
Okay.
Okay, let's look at the front of our dress now. And now you're going to be like, oh, now I see it. It's looking better now. Okay, this is the front of our dress. You see it coming along now? You see already
You on my screen, you're frozen.
the little twist in the front? Am I frozen?
On my
How do
screen,
we fix that?
I don't know how they fix it.
Guys, am I frozen on your end? Is anybody seeing me move this fabric around?
You're moving now.
Okay. Well, then here's the dress. It's coming together now. This is the front of our dress. Can you see the knot?
Yes.
Okay. It's this is going to be one side of the dress and this is the other. This is all your chest up here. These are the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can see this is the knot right here. This is just an extra thread I'm going to cut off. Okay. Mercy me. Now, this is the part of the pattern that requires us to start installing the zipper. But if you remember, I skipped that step. I'm not doing a zipper.
Yeah.
No zipper for me. I'm going to let go of this front piece and I'm going to focus on the back piece now. This is my back piece. Because I'm not doing a zipper, it is going to be a bit wider than it needs to be. So I'm going to sew that dart that I talked to you about before. I have some blue dots right here and another set of blue
Mm-hmm.
dots right here. Okay.
Yes.
And
I'm
I'm
gonna have to
going
go out and
to
come back in.
basically, I'm going to sew, sew this. Okay.
I'll be right back.
I'm going to sew a dart going just like this right here. So in order to, go ahead. In order to do that, I'm going to pinch this fabric together. Okay. Um, I'm going to pinch this fabric together. There we go. And I'm going to put a pin at the beginning and also at the end where I'm going to stop. Um, all right, so here we go. To fit as snug as I want it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew a stitch, kind of like a rhombus or a diamond, but that stitch is going to go from here to here, and I'll put a pin there. So it's going to go from here to here to here, okay? Here to here to here. And so the whole point of doing this is so that I can get a more snatched waist. I don't want to look like I'm big back. Um, so I'm going to take in some of this fabric. So I'm going to stitch from here to here to here. Okay. And whatever I do on this side, I'm going to do on this side as well. So I'm going to go ahead now and right. So these are just like the alterations that I have to make because I elected not to do a button like the pattern requires. I mean, a zipper. The reason I'm not doing a zipper is because this is a knit fabric and I can just put this dress on over my head without any issues. And I can just put this dress on over my head without any issues. So without a zipper. Okay, so for me, I just kind of eyeballed it to make sure that the space that you're sewing is the same length. You can always, measure, use your tape measure. So this is about 2 inches, and then this one is a little over a little bit. There we go. Alrighty. Let me get my ruler because that's going to help you out a little bit more. And I'm going to use my tailor's chalk and line out where we're on the wrong side of the fabric. We shouldn't have any issues with this chalk still being on the fabric later. Okay. Can you guys see this? It's really tough. Let's see. How about now? Can you see the blue tailor's chalk? It's going down and then down that way. Yes, you can see it? Great. Okay, I'm going to do the same over here. Okay, so this is, actually, I'm not really sure what this is called. I call it a back dart. Let's see what the instructions call it. So the instructions calls this a, hold on a second. I'm trying to find what they call it. I'm not really sure what they call this. I call it, the instructions here doesn't have a name for it. So let's just go with that, a back dart. We're going to go to the machine and we're going to stitch along this blue tailor's chalk line that I made. And this is going to kind of like snap in the back because we don't want to look like we have big back. This is not big back season. Okay. All right, and we're just going to pivot and continue on with our stitch, following along with it, and let's back stitch when we get to the end. Okay, so there you have it. This is SS thread. Give me a second. And I'm just going to cut that off. So that's the stitch that I made, and we can just go right ahead and cut that excess fabric off. I would recommend that you put this up against you to make sure that it is, the right size that you want. You might want to undo this stitch and go shorter, or wider, or what. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, and I'm just going to follow along with this chalk that I created, this chalk line. And pivot. Okay, there we go. That's it. And all of this was just so that we can avoid doing a zipper. I don't know, was it worth it? Alrighty, that's the back of your dress. And you can see the area that I put that seam is like right here. And it like really kind of like snatch, kind of like makes you look snatched, right? From the inside, you have this excess fabric right here. You don't need it. You can cut it off if you like, or you could keep it there. It's totally up to you. If you keep it, if you need to make your dress bigger because sometimes we gain weight, then you have all of that fabric left over that you can you can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it alone and let it stay. I actually have a lot of issues because of health. I have a lot of issues with inflammation, so I do gain and lose weight a lot. You just never know. Let's see here. So next, we're going to add the back facing. We're going to connect the dress at the shoulders, and then we can just add the sleeves, and then we're done. The back facing is this little piece here that I keep losing. I'm so happy to finally put this piece on. So I won't have to keep up with where I placed it. So this is the neck area of your back piece, okay? So it's going to be, on the back. We don't want this raw edge to be showing. So we're going to put this back facing on, right sides together, pin it together. And then we're going to sew it on at the top edge. Once we do that, we're going to flip it over and we're going to press it down, press it into submission. This is also the time where press it down, press it into submission. This is also the time where I like to tag all of my clothes as my own make. So I have these clothes tags, and I would sew that on at this point too. Okay, so there's our back facing. This is the neck area of your dress, the back neck area of your dress. Okay, it's going to go on just like that. We're going to pin it in place. There we go. Pin it in place and then sew right along here. Okay, I'm going to turn on the iron once again to get it warmed up so it's ready for us. And let me get my clothes tags, get that ready. That's it. There's my clothes tags. It says Bobby Pins on it. Sewn for you by Bobby Pins. Let's see here. I always have to think, how do I put this on? Okay. So I'm going to put this clothes tag on right sides together. And I'm going to pin it in place. I think this is about the center. Okay. I'm going to pin that in place. And we're going to sew. I'll take these pins out. And now we're going to press this. Oh, look what happened. You see that? Let me undo it. Let me undo that. But first, before I undo anything, I'm just going to edge of the fabric. That way. Okay, so let's see here. If I take out this outer stitch, I should have enough room where you should be able to see all of my tag. Let's go check it out. I know y'all about tired of this. All right, let's see if that works. Yeah, all right, that works. So I'm gonna take this seam out real quick. And then we're gonna press this down. Mm. So the only thing that I just did was I created another seam closer to the edge of the fabric only because I want to be able to see all of my. So now that I know that this second seam that I made is or second stitch that I made is good, I'm just going to take out the first stitch. So if you don't have any clothes tags that you're trying to add to your garment, then you know you can just continue on with pressing your seam down. All right, give me one sec. There we go. Okay. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Oh, okay. Oh, you still with me, Stephanie? Thank you. Are you working on a project too? Oh, I took too long for my iron. Ready for it. Here I am. All right. We're gonna turn this back facing. inside, and we're going to press it down. Alrighty. And you can see my close tag, which is not well centered, but that's my fault because I did not actually measure for the center. Now we no longer have a raw edge. We put that basing on. Now we're ready to get the front of our dress, and we're going to at the shoulders. Let me grab the front of our dress. Okay, right sides together. Okay, right sides together. We're going to pin this fabric, okay, at this shoulder seam, or at the shoulders, and then we're going to sew this seam. Okay, let's go ahead and pin the other side as well. This facing, when we turn it inside, you want to make sure that you pin down the facing, the back of the dress, and then also the front of the dress at the shoulders. Okay, we want to sew that facing down. All right, let's sew down these shoulders. just taking out these pins, and we're gonna sew the other shoulder when I can find it. Oh, here it is. What's going on here? All right. Okay, we're all set. Okay, we're all set. Okay. Let's see what we've done now. Hey, DJ. Ave. Let's see what our dress is looking like now. Did I do this right? Okay. There's our dress. Of course, we still need to do the side seams, which we can actually do now. Trick bag step that they want us to do. No. So basically, we're really close to being done with this dress. Not doing the zipper allowed us to skip a lot of steps. And you can see what I'm talking about. This is such a plunging V-neck or whatever this is called. You could just slip this dress over your head, and if you don't have to fool around with a zipper, please don't. So now I'm going to turn the dress back around and pin the dress at the sides, right side of the fabric facing each other, and then we're going to sew along the side seam. So yeah, this is a pretty simple dress. Once you get past the little twisting part that you have to do, you're rocking and rolling. Let's pin this in place. Alrighty. Yes, Iron, I hear you. Thank you. Okay. And like I said before, I really like to, as much as possible, my lines and make sure that my lines are matching. That's like something that I'm really big into. If you care about your lines matching, and you want to, use a fabric with a design like I'm using, you may need to buy extra fabric. Um, if you don't care about how your lines look, then you can, just stick to the amount of fabric that is listed on the pattern envelope, and you should be fine. So hello everyone out there. I'm just pinning my fabric in place, and then I'm going to sew this side seam. After I sew the side seam, I can work on the sleeves, and then I'm done with this dress. Thanks for the hearts. Appreciate you. Oh, oh, Stephanie, it's just me and you now, girl. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I don't like the way that looks. Let me fix that. Okay. Oh, do I? Oh, on my end, I only see 3 people, but thank you for joining. I'm just pinning my fabric in place, and then I'm gonna go to the sewing machine. We're doing the side seams of the dress, so we're pretty much close to the end. After I sew these 2 seams, I'm gonna add the sleeves, And the only thing left after that is just to him. Um, and you're welcome to stay as long as you want. But I've made it this far, so I'm just going to finish this dress. No pressure to you if you are tired and want to leave. The great things about Fridays is that I don't work my full-time job on Fridays, so I can stay up late on Fridays. Who's saying hello? I thought I heard XX Angel. Hi, Angel. Hello. Are you sewing something too? Nope. Do you sew? Here, maybe it's easier if I just. Oh, she's not there anymore. How is it that I can see her comments, but I can't allow her to join me if she wants to talk? Yes, sometimes. Okay. I tried to make it so that you can join me because it's easier for me to talk to you than typing. But I can't figure out how to do that because I don't know how to use TikTok. I'm new here. Alrighty, let's go to the sewing machine and sew these side seams together. Oh, thanks for the hearts. What do you sew, Angel? Oh. Thank you, Angel, for those hearts. Very long stitch. Don't forget to back stitch at the end. Okay. Now we can work on the other side. We are doing view B of Burda 6442. Data Z's. Hello. And another backstitch. Okay. Let's go take out all of these pins. Please make sure you take all your pins out, because otherwise you'll end up wearing a garment and you'll feel that pin poke you somewhere and it won't be fun. Hey Chanel, how you doing? Okay, those are all there. So let's go on the other side, get all these pins out. Alrighty. Alright, there's our dress. Time to make the sleeves. This is bothering me so bad that it's not centered. Does that look silly to have your tag not centered? I should fix it, shouldn't I? I should fix it, shouldn't I? Yes. Oh, you know what? I thought for sure you would say no. All right. Just leave it. Should I create a poll? I have one that says yes, fix it, and one that says leave it. Who's going to be the tiebreaker? You say leave it. Because nobody's going to know, right? Well, you guys know, but nobody else is going to know that my tag is not centered. All right, leave it. All right, Stephanie, I was this close to fixing it. Turning my dress inside out. Here's the dress. Remember, we need to still do the sleeves. Here's our dress. Ooh-wee. Super cute. Oh, thank you. All right, sleeves. What did I do with my sleeves? Here are my sleeves, right? This is scrap. We don't need that. Here are my sleeves. I'm going to turn on my iron. What I notice is that a lot of patterns, instructions, they will tell you to put the sleeve together, and then they will say, once you put the sleeve together, attach it to the garment, and then do the hemming. I don't like that, because once you put the sleeve in place, then you're basically having to stitch using like this little tiny space, right? So what I do is I do the hemming first. That way I'm not trying to maneuver um, this little tiny, space through the sewing machine. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to iron a very small piece, right? I'm going to iron this all the way through, make sure I have that down, and then I'm going to fold it again and then iron again. And this will be the hem. This is like basically me hemming my sleeve. Once I'm done with that, with right sides together, I'm going to put these two sides together and I'm going to make a stitch all the way up here. And that will be my sleeve. I don't have to worry about hemming it later because I would have already done that. Okay. And this is supposed to be like a three-quarter sleeve. So it's not supposed to be long. Okay. Pin this, sew it down, and then continue on with the rest of your sleeve. I'm going to go ahead and do this one too. I want to make sure that I do the hemming the correct size. I want them to be the same length. So excuse me, let me put this down. Then I'm gonna put this one on top. And I just want to make sure that the hems are the same. Okay, this one's a little too big. Let me fix that. Okay. Hmm. All right. Let me get my pins. Let's sew this down. All right, that's one sleeve. Okay, so that's the hem of our sleeve. Now, right sides together. Says my knit gets stuff in the machine. What am I doing wrong? Your knits? Um, okay, Jackie, maybe we can talk it out. What's happening with your machine? Are you using the right needle? I think so. I'm using a size 11. Uh, oh, maybe you're talking to Jackie. My bad. Hi. You there?
Hi.
Hey, I'm just over here laughing at myself. Did you see someone in the chat? What's her name? Is it Data Zays? How do you say this name, girl? What do you? Hold on a
So I
second.
know I'm supposed to use like a jersey needle,
Um, are
a
you
stretch
using a
needle. I
jersey,
mean,
a stretch, or yeah? What size needle is it?
11.
Yeah, that's what I use. I use an 11. So what's your issue? Is it that when you're sewing that the um,
The fabric goes down into
goes
the
down?
hole.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. What can you do about that? What size is the stitch?
Um,
Are you using the
it'd be a
standard like
zigzag. I
2.5?
think it's like a 2.5.
Have you tried maybe increasing that stitch to a 3.5?
Yeah, I never thought of that, but yeah, I could try that.
I'm
It wouldn't
assuming
have
you're not
anything to
at your
do with the
machine
tension.
now. I'm assuming you're not at your machine now, huh?
No,
Oh. What was your question?
it wouldn't have anything to do with the tension either.
Well, that's yes, the tension would also do that, but what do you keep yours on? I have mine's on 4.
Yeah, 4.
Okay. Um what type of bobbin are you using? Do you have a plastic one or
A
a
plastic one.
Eee. I don't like those. I think that they really cause a lot of problems and
Uh
that
huh.
may contribute to the problem that you have. So bobbins come in plastic and also metal. I only prefer the metal kind. When you use a plastic bobbin, I feel like it starts to do something called nesting. Have you ever
Mhm.
heard of that?
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't recommend them. I don't know the science behind it. I just know that they don't work very well. And it makes you really frustrated and you just want to give up the whole project.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
might be a problem.
Um, so this is the metal bobbin. I like these.
And
You
you
can
can
get
use that in your brother? Because I have a brother.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
When you get a sewing machine, usually the starter kits that you get with all the press feed and all that stuff, usually it includes a plastic bobbin.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is when I get my machine, I just throw those things away because I just think they're pure trash, and it may contribute to the issue that you're having.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, the other option is you could get a smaller needle. I don't know how thin your jersey fabric is, but you could
Mm-hmm.
get a smaller needle. You could try a size 9 or 10. So that's also another option. Um, you said that you have a stretch needle, but does it actually have a size to it?
Yeah, it says 10.
It says 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And you're using jersey?
Yeah,
Okay. Uh, well, then I also think it's better to use a size 11.
11.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the size 10 is like right at the cusp of for very fine fabric and lightweight fabric. Jersey is a lightweight fabric.
Mm-hmm.
So the correct needles for lightweight fabrics would be a size 11 or 12. I can never find size 12 in our stores, so I would stick to a size 11.
11. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Yeah, but before you go buying stuff, um, with the exception of the metal bobbin, um, make sure that you change your tension. I think if you're having that issue with the bunching, then you might want to loosen up the tension. So you said you're at 4, maybe try a 3.5 or a 3. You really want to get some test fabric. Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't use the leftover remnant fabric that you have after you cut your pattern pieces. And so try a different tension, try a different bobbin. I prefer metal bobbins for this exact reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you still have that issue, and if you still have that issue after you change your needle, the other problem may be that your machine needs cleaning.
Okay.
Yeah. How old is your machine?
Um, 2 years.
Have you been using it a lot?
Lately, I have, but I have had it serviced.
Oh,
But it was
okay.
like in the middle of last year, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think sewing machines need to be serviced that much.
Mm-hmm.
People normally say like every year. I honestly don't do that. So I only service my machine until like something is wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to do better. I probably should do better. But I also have like 6 sewing machines, so if one goes bad, I just move on to the next. Yeah. So yeah. So thanks for joining me. You're welcome to stay here if you want. But I'm gonna finish sewing this sleeve.
Well, thanks for the advice. I needed it.
Yeah, no problem. This sleeve looks super huge. Is my arm that big? Don't hurt my feelings. Does my arm look this big? Let me see.
Uh,
I heard that. Oh my god, my arm is that big. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I thought I had lost some weight. Maybe not in my arm. Good grief. So I am sewing a size 16 dress for this particular fabric. I'm sorry, for this particular pattern. I realized that because I made this twice already, I realized that I need a size down. So instead of a 18, I'm making a size 16 But when it comes to sleeves, my arms, as I just showed you, are a bit bigger than my regular dress size. So I cut this sleeve at a size 20, I believe. So my dress is a size 16, but the sleeves are a size 20, and now you kind of understand why. And when I'm sewing, I just sew right over my needles. Somebody told me that I shouldn't do that, but I noticed that it doesn't mess up the needle at all. So I just sew right over these pins. And backstitch. All right. Let me just confirm one more time that I have a big arm before I move on to the next sleeve. I cannot believe this. I didn't know that my arm, the devil is a lie, but that's my arm. All right, y'all, I'm done. All right, we're gonna do the same for this one. This is our other sleeve. Oh, is that Jackie or Jacqueline? Thank you for the follow. Okay. Right sides together. Pin this all in place. Make sure that you start your pinning from the point where we made our hem. That way you can ensure that the hem is even. Okay, last sleeve. Now we're ready to attach our sleeve to our dress, and then we're done, with the exception of hemming the bottom of the dress, which we'll do the same way that we did the sleeves. But I'm not going to be able to do that on live with you because I have to try on the dress so I know how long I want it. Okay, I just turned my sleeve inside out, that's all. Nothing fancy. And thank you for the likes, really appreciate that. Now, let me find my armhole to my dress. Here's one armhole, and then I'm going to get a sleeve, and I'm going to attach the sleeve to this armhole, right sides together. So get your pins ready. Do your best to match up the seams of your sleeve with the seam of your dress. Okay, so here's the seam for my sleeve right here, and then here's the seam for my dress. I'm going to pin right here, making sure that I match those two together. Okay, and then I'm going to with right sides together, pin the rest of the sleeve to the armhole of the dress. You guys are being real troopers hanging in here. This is relaxing, really? Okay. Oh, no, I don't like that. Okay. So now I think you guys can kind of understand what I was talking about earlier and why I do the hem of my sleeve first. Because otherwise, I would have to do like this through the machine with this little tiny hole or space. I just like to avoid that if I can. Now what am I doing? This is my sleeve. Now because my sleeve is cut at a size bigger than the rest of my dress, there is going to be some extra fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of force the fabric of the sleeve in there, and it's going to kind of like look like there's some bunching, and I'm okay with that. I guess if I had realized that this was going to be an issue, I would have did some gathering at the top of the sleeve. So, but I forgot that part, and I don't feel like taking this sleeve apart now. All right, so this is the top of the armhole, right? This is the armhole of the dress, and this is the sleeve. So I'm just going to, like, when I feed it through the machine, I'm just going to like force it through, and it's just going to kind of like look like there's some gathering from the outside of it. I'll show you what I mean. And this is all because you know, my arms are much bigger than my average dress size. Okay, I'm gonna sew this on now. gonna take these pins out and I'll let you see what the sleeve looks like from the outside. Okay, so you can see the bunching right here, right? And for me, I kind of feel like that kind of gives it a little flair. I don't mind it. And that's how I handle that. Yeah. All right, so that's one sleeve. And let's put the last sleeve on. Oh, here it is. Make sure that you match up the seams. How did I learn to sew? YouTube. Yeah, that's it. I just this all started out as a New Year's resolution. It was actually a 2020 New Year's resolution, which was perfect timing. I started working on my resolution like right around Christmas. And if you recall, 2020 was the year that COVID hit. So I had a lot of time to practice my skills because we were on lockdown, you know. But yeah, I just went on YouTube and I just started sewing stuff, just sewing and sewing and sewing. But you know, like I tell everybody, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't cute in the beginning. Sometimes even now it's not cute, but just keep practicing if that's what you want to do. And don't let other people discourage you. You know, I had a lot of Gordon Gartrells in the beginning, and people would be like, don't quit your day job, you know. But that's all right. Those same people that were telling me not to continue on with sewing because my first couple of makes weren't the best are now the same people that are asking me to make their kids' prom outfits. That was mean. I guess if you had seen the outfits that I had made in the beginning, you probably would understand. Yeah. It was something. I remember I made this vest and I was so proud of it. Um, but it wasn't until after it was all done that I realized that when I laid the pattern pieces on the fabric, that I end up cutting part of the vest with the Eiffel Towers because it was like a Paris themed fabric. Some of the Eiffel Towers were right side up, and then some of them were upside down. I wore that vest to work anyway. I was so proud of it. But those are like some of the things that you know, you live and learn. So anyway, again, we have that extra fabric. And again, this is all because I cut my sleeve a bit wider than the rest of my dress, only because my arms are bigger. Um, Even though this is stretchy fabric, I still need more room for my arms. And it's getting colder now. Fall is actually this official start of fall is on Monday. So I think we probably should consider making a leather jacket. What do you guys think about that? Or a wool jacket. Jackie says yes. Is that yes to the jacket? Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have visited my page, but if you visit my page, you'll see a brown leather jacket that I made using Vogue 1714. I love that jacket. It has a peplum to it. It's a motorcycle jacket. And I love that jacket. Absolutely loved it. Well, I experienced a lot of weight gain, which I can only imagine is because of the MS medicine that I was taking. Or maybe also because of inflammation. But either way, I experienced this weight gain, and I just I couldn't shed the weight, and I had this jacket that I could no longer fit in my closet for years and years. Well, on the flip side, my sister was losing weight, so I, being the good sister that I am, I said, "Hey, why don't you take my jacket since I can't fit it anymore and you can?" She takes my jacket, and she has never worn it. When I asked her why doesn't she wear the daggone jacket, she says, "What jacket?" Like she don't even remember I gave her the jacket. So I was just like, "Heifer, you know what?" I said, it don't even matter that you don't know what I'm talking about or you don't know where this jacket is. I can't fit the daggone jacket anyway. But here I am now that I've lost weight. Maybe I can fit the jacket, but I don't even think I want to bother going to her house and searching for it. I'll just make me a new one. Here's our second. There's our second sleeve. And this is pretty much our dress. Our dress is done, guys. Took a little longer than I wanted, but it's done. I'm going to put this dress on the mannequin so that you guys can see what it looks like. Give me one moment. Let me get my mannequin out. Ouch. Shit. This is my mannequin. I don't have a name for her. Purchased this off of a seller from Facebook Marketplace. So she is about a size 12, 14 in retail sizes. And I think I'm about a size 10 now. But again, this is knit material, so it stretches, so we'll be fine. we go. There's one arm. Now let's get the other arm. I feel like I'm groping her. There. Hold on, I got part of her fabric stuck. There we go. All right, girl, fix your dress. What do you guys think? What do you think of that? We did all right, huh? Okay, now let's show you the back. Remember, we didn't do a zipper. This right here, this is the seam that we made at the back. And this was to kind of like cinch in the waist a little more. And here's the other seam right here. My mannequin is a bit voluptuous. But yeah, you can see the seam right here because the design of the fabric kind of changes a little bit. Just kind of cinches in the waist, especially if you're doing the option like I showed you today of not using the zipper. Normally for this this pattern, you know, it calls for a zipper. The zipper would be right down the end, right down the middle of the dress. But you know, I said screw that. I'm not doing that. So that's our dress. Yeah, I think it worked out well. So thanks for being patient with me. I am going to end our live. I'm going to try on the dress, and then I'll determine, you know, how long I want it to be. And I'll show you the shoes that I have in mind for it, which I think matches the dress perfectly. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of hearts, so you guys like this. All right, well, that's our dress. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Sorry that there were some issues in the beginning trying to figure out how to read this Burda pattern. You know, like I said, Burda is a bit special. They're great patterns, but it's a bit special. They're outlined a lot different than the big name patterns like Simplicity. But yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Next, because we have to have another project, right? If you have been listening to my lives, you would know what the next pattern is going to be. Let me hit that for you. What did I do with it? Oh, here they are. Right here. This is our next project. You guys have about 2 days to get this project or get this pattern if you don't already have it. Okay, 2 days. I'm going to start this on Saturday. That's mine. You have this? You have this, Stephanie? You have this? This is Simplicity 3046. Simplicity 3046. Okay, this is going to be our next dress that we're going to make. This one calls for stretch materials. Stretch materials. So what are we going to use for this? Looks like I need about 3.5 to 3 3/4 yards of 60-inch width fabric. Stretch. Well, I got 2 days to figure it out. What fabric am I using? Oh gosh. What color do you think would be good? I was thinking of this silver. Or maybe I should consider this fabric that I've had on my stash for years that has a fall look to it. And I can use a contrasting belt with it. Okay, why did I buy this fabric? Can anybody explain to me why I brought this fabric? Let me get closer to it so you can see. I think these are flowers, or I don't know. Why did I buy this fabric? Do we like this fabric? Pajamas? Yeah, I guess you're right. Not for the I must have purchased this because it was on sale. I can't think of any other reason why I would buy this unless it was on sale. But do you guys think that this is good for, I don't know. I don't see it. No, I don't know. Another option is to just go with a solid blue. This is navy blue. That's an option. Okay. Another option is do we like silver? No? Yeah, I don't blame you. This is rich. Which color do you like, Jacqueline? The silver? Really? Oh, okay. And I have plenty of fabric for it. Do you like the longer version or the shorter version? I got another vote for silver. Long. Oh, okay. So oh, goodness. All right, y'all gonna have me get on the floor. All right. Well, I'm not gonna start this today. So I'm gonna let my knees rest. But you guys get ready. If you want to sew along with me, Simplicity 3046 is our next project. We're going to start on Saturday. And make sure you get some knee pads because we're probably going to have to get on the floor and cut some fabric. Invest in a good pair of knee pads. This is Big Sister talking from the heart. You need knee pads. After we do this we're moving on to Vogue 1884. Okay. Which dress? This dress. I think I might wear this dress to church, but I'm gonna put a camisole so that, you know, like it covers like up to here. I was thinking maybe a white one. Um, that's like a solid cotton type, you know, material. Um, just so that this down is not showing. If I were going somewhere else, like somewhere like date night, for example, I let the chest out. Uh, if my husband is with me, the the chest is out, you know, because I just want his eyes on me and only me. I also have a cruise coming up, and I was thinking maybe I could wear this on my cruise. Um, he said, "You'll be back on Saturday." So will I. I'll be back on Saturday too. And hopefully soon, Simplicity will send me my latest pattern haul that I just purchased. I'm so excited. There's a gown that I've been wanting to make, but I refused to buy the pattern until Vogue went on sale. And there's a sale right now with Simplicity Fabrics with Vogue, and I hopped on it. So I'm just waiting for them to fulfill my order and ship it out to me. And soon and very soon, we're going to sew a whole floor length gown. Really excited about that. All right, guys, it's late, and I'm sure some of you probably have work in the morning. Not me, but some of you. And I'm going to let you go. Or you can just hang out and stay with me if you want. Good night. Good night. And thanks again for joining me. Latoya, one day we're going to have to sync up and sew the same pattern together. All right. Okay, so that's Aileen, Judith, and Jacqueline, and Stephanie. I'm signing out, you guys.